If you've spent years doing the things you were told would set you up, working hard, building a career, or raising a family, where you probably were putting your own needs at the back of the line, and now you're in midlife, looking around and realizing, wait, financially, I'm not where I thought I'd be right now. So I want to tell you something. I was in my 40s when I reset my own inner compass with money. I was single at the time. I didn't get married until about a decade later. So the financially liberating work I'm going to walk you through here, I did that myself, on my own. And honestly, most women end up doing this work themselves at some point. Maybe they're married and finally ready to really understand the money, or maybe they're single again after a divorce or a loss. Maybe they never decided to get married at all. But at some point, there comes a moment when you realize, I need to know where I stand with my money. And I need to know what to do next, or at least be able to have an opinion about it. For me, dancing solo, it took less than a decade to go from almost $80,000 in debt to a net worth in the seven-figure range. A few years after that, I retired at 51. And I don't say that because your path has to look like mine. It won't. I say it because as long as you're still breathing, your future is not finished. That song hasn't been sung yet. But if you want your future to sound different from the tune you've been dancing to all these years, then yes, we do need to shift the beat a little. And that's what we're doing here on The Rhythm of Money. I'm a retired investment advisor. I was also a business consultant and a trained therapist. For decades, I've talked with people from so many different walks of life about all kinds of things. And one way or another, so much of it comes down to a desire to be more successful with the money. And over time, I started seeing something very clearly. The women who finally began making steady progress didn't find some hidden strategy. And they didn't discover some magical solution that had somehow been evading them before. No, they were simply the ones who stopped fighting what needed to be let in, and stopped denying what needed to be seen, and stopped believing things that needed to be questioned. They became able to look at their numbers without bracing and stay connected to their bodies while using their minds clearly. Over time, they started making financial decisions from steadiness, not fear. In other words, they found their own rhythm with money, their own true note. And then they started living from there. That's what this show is about, helping you become one of those women. Welcome to The Rhythm of Money. Every week, we'll do two kinds of work side by side. The inner work, what you've been absorbing, what's running underneath, what your body does the moment money comes up, and the practical work, how to actually build something step by step at a pace that doesn't ask you to become someone you're not, and at a pace that allows real change, not just the promise of it. This show is built as a progression, so each episode builds on the last one. So if you're ready to stop trying to force yourself into somebody else's melody and start dancing to your own true note, well, then follow along or subscribe wherever you're listening, and let's find your rhythm together.